All right, welcome to the East County Prep Football Post-Game Show here for Friday night, Dave. We're just getting the finals in, and man, we did get a thriller out of it tonight, Dave, out at Santee Community Stadium tonight, where the Santana Sultans pulled it off and got us breathing heavy over here, Coach, waiting till the last minute tonight. But I know it was all about the defense. But what a finish tonight, Dave. The Sultans pulled off a dramatic comeback to keep their playoffs going here with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion in the final minute of the game to edge the Bonita Vista Barons 11-10 in a Division 5 first round game. Dave, we've got Coach Tim Estes with us. He snuck out of the parking lot, pulled over, and give us a moment here to tell us exactly what went on with Dave. We were watching it, but it was sketchy there at the end, but we got it going, trailing 10-3 late in the fourth quarter. You had Miller took advantage. Coach, there was a roughing penalty. That was a key mistake. It looked like the NFL out there, Coach. A roughing penalty gave us some extra field position, and then Coco Thornton was rumbling a couple of times down there, and then Ethan fired that 5-yard touchdown strike. I think, was it to Tatum?
No, it was to Maddox Eso.
Tell me about that touchdown play then. I know he was lined up on the left side there and just ran a quick in route there. And, man, great throw by Miller. He was a little up and down. Good defense by Bonita Vista tonight, but he made that one count.
Yes, he did. We knew we motioned the guy across. They moved their safety over a little bit and made the little skinny post open, so we took advantage of it.
Dave, right after that, they lined up as if they were going to try the game tying. This is Coach Estes here. So, Dave, they were never going to try the game tying extra point. But instead, if I have it right, Coach, a perfectly executed fake there with Coco Thornton taking the snap. He rolled out. And, Dave, who did he throw it to, Dave? Was it Johnson, Coach?
No, Xander Bennett. Our tight end.
Xander Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave, right there. Lobbed it in the end zone, Dave, and I looked at it twice. I don't know what Xander – he caught it. He caught that ball. Yeah. It was a great diving catch there, right there in the end zone.
A little bit short. He had to go down on the ground for it, yes.
Dave, and then I think at the end they got an interception there. I think – was it Liam McGinn there?
No, it was Denton Gore who got the interception at the end.
Denton got it. So, Dave, help me out here. You were watching it. I've got it all wrong, but I think we have the plays right. I have the plays right. Go ahead, yes. Dave.
Yeah, it was mostly – I mean, really the key to the story is, right, Coach, was pretty much the last 5 minutes. You could hear the home crowd getting a little restless and watching the clock. And they were definitely hurrying the offense. And it took a couple of seconds to get it off, but it definitely I think they were sleeping on that one. What do you think, Coach?
You mean on the touchdown on the last
on the fake?
Yeah. Well, I think what happens, they think that we were just probably going for the tie so we can put it in overtime. But their kicker is really good. He's got a leg. We're watching him warm up at 40 plus yards kicking field goals, and I'm going, I don't know if I want to get into a kicking contest with that guy.
Yeah, he made a 38-yarder actually that made it 10-3 in the third quarter, and their defense really was kind of taking control. They forced the Sultans into some long fields. Dave, there was also a blocked field goal though in there as well. Did you saw that?
Yeah, we blocked one of their field goals towards the end of the game that because it would have put them up 13-3. That would have put us in a 2-score, obviously, 2-possession game there. And luckily we got our hands on it and blocked it.
There was also a sequence there, Coach, where we had a one good offensive possession, a long completion, but then we tried to go back up top again. It almost looked like the same play, and the Barons intercepted it somewhere, I think, about the 4-yard line. Do you remember that sequence? And
yes, we moved the ball along, and we should have, when they saw the corner bailed out, we should have just held up and threw the hitch, and we let it go and went for it, and they ended up getting the interception. And we held them, and then they punted out of their end zone, but then it hit one of our returner. It touched them, and they recovered the ball, so that allowed them to get the ball back. We would have been in good field position otherwise. But Bonita's defense played really well. I'll give them props for that for sure.
Well, it kind of was the tale of the second half was two defenses, and then trading penalties there for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we said, Dave, going into the game that, Coach, this had to be, other than 11-10, it had to be kind of what was expected in this matchup. It was going to be a kind of a grudge match, and maybe the defenses were going to, figure this one out.
Yes, and both defenses played really well, and our defense the whole season has been taking care of us, and they've been doing a great job for us. So, and they just played another game that they normally do, and they saved us. Again.
Can you give me some stars here? I can't. I'm not complaining about the purple on the black on the purple, but can you give me some of the guys who stood out there on the defensive side? Because this was all about and Coco. I see you up there. You're watching, Coco. You were all over the place tonight.
Yeah. No, Coco did a great job for us tonight. Returning punts, kicks, defense, offense. He is truly a very good football player, and he's very talented.
And young, Dave. We're going to see a lot more. We've been talking about him already for a couple seasons, and he's just getting started, and we're not done yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And he did a fantastic job. So, he was awesome on defense. Tatum Morehouse is great on defense. We had a number of guys that all contributed. They had a pretty good, their backs are good sized kids, and we had to gang tackle them the whole night. And the couple times we didn't gang tackle is when they got yards. But our defense as a group played really well, and we did not let them get too much on us, except for that one drive where they got the touchdown.
Got to stay away from those hip drops.
Yeah, exactly. And when we gang tackle, we are pretty good. So.
Yeah, Dave, and also they had two big backs, and going into next week, Coach, you'll face a different kind of back here. I know you've just got done with the game, but Superior Garor is one of a kind really in this league this season. Definitely fits that mold of the smaller back, but very elusive. I know you've seen him this year, seen highlights of him and know about him.
Yes, we have, and waiting to see him on film now. So, yeah, I haven't got to watch much other than highlights on PPR and some other stuff and, word of mouth and stuff, but I am waiting to watch him on film now.
And that might work out, Dave, because, they are, I don't want to say one-dimensional, Dave, but they really do rely on Garor, and I think that that might play a little bit into the Sultan's hands, even though we got to go on the road, Dave.
Yeah, and this will be the first time I think we've played Morris in the time that I've been at Santana for, 25 years. So
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing because if you think about the level of program, have you ever considered it or even talked to Coach over there about it, or just but the level of competition has been similar for those decades, it feels like.
And sometimes, yes, of course. And actually, it's funny. Him and I talked here the other day, and we're setting up a game for next year. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
My mom, Dave, was in the first graduating class of Morris High. That's how old we are. But
all right.
I'll be rooting for the Sultans, Coach.
Awesome.
Dave, you have anything else for Coach? I just don't want to make sure. I want to make sure I get all those names, and I'm gonna go back and rewind it, Coach. I was blasting that volume. I even heard what you were saying, Dave. The fans. I don't think they were restless with you, Coach. I think they were just feeling like we were the more physical team maybe out there and weren't deserving of the result that we weren't getting there in the fourth quarter.
It's it's. I never want to say the officials did something for the game and changed anything and stuff. So, and I thought they did pretty good. There's a couple, always going to question calls here and there, but
I know, Coach, I'll interrupt you, Coach. There was one play that was almost a game deciding play for you. There was a punt, and the punt it may have been, obviously you might think maybe there was other plays too and you're taking something else, but there was key play, Dave. I think it's worth saying that Santana would be ruled a muffed punt whether or not he touched it or not, and the Barons recovered all the way back in Santana territory. The Sultans would have had a short field if it just would have been ruled a downed punt. So
correct.
Where he got his hit, where he touched it.
Yeah, he did that, did this, and
I think
whether you touch it or not, I don't know. It's kind of like the guy in the World Series, Dave, when the ball gets stuck in the thing. You better go get it just in case.
Yes, exactly.
So over that ball, and then let the referee decide. I know it looks bad when you go and chase a ball that maybe you didn't touch, but
exactly.
That's for you coaches to tell them what to do. I don't know what I'm talking about. So. All right, Dave, you got anything else for Coach? Coach, good luck. We could definitely beat the Tigers. I know they'll probably have that home field a little bit, but
sure.
Like I said, the level of play between these two programs, David, it feels very even. I mean, we know Morris plays Christian. We know all the relationships, so it's an even matchup that we can take care of, Dave.
Yeah, I think you guys at the end of the season, I'm sure injuries played into that as well. You get towards the end of the season ready for playoffs and losing some key components at the middle of the season towards the end. And to come up with this one in the playoffs kind of puts those in a little compartment away now as you're moving on to Morris.
Yes, it does. And, we're in the playoffs now. Like I said, everybody's even or everybody's got one win or whatever it is. So the rest of the season prior to us doesn't matter anymore. That's out of our control. But the only thing we can do is look forward to this coming week versus Morris.
Yeah, Coach, no doubt about it. I mean, it's interesting. The Sultans, I think it just shows about the depth of our conference. I know we get a hard time, but constantly, it's almost like Sultan time. Every 2, 3, 4 seasons, you get in the right position in the division playoffs and you go on a run, and we end up seeing you in the championship game. So going to have to do it a little bit the hard way this time with some road wins, but you guys have done it before.
We have, and looking forward to doing it again. I like doing that.
All right, Dave. You good with Coach?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell those guys we missed them, and we really would have liked to have them, but tell them congratulations from the guys, and we're gonna get you. We'll get you next. We'll get on the bus, Coach. Look out!
We'll have them. Then we'll have them for sure.
Yeah, we're already running out of some teams here, Coach. The Norsemen went down, the Wolfpack went down, and the Hillers went down. So just be ready. The Hillers dropped it on the neutral there. So, but we did get the Patriots won and the Highlanders won. So we got some winners too.
Oh, very nice. Very good.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
East County time.
Hey, you guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Hope we got them all in there, Dave, with asking Coach about some of the players that we needed, and I'll go back and rewind it. I got every one of them wrong, but that's okay. Coach, I'm going to send him some white numbers for those jerseys here. But okay, Dave. So that was a great win, though. But we needed wins. We got the win there, and the Sultans. You said they're going to go play the Morris Tigers, Dave, and that'll be a good one on the road next week. I really think we can take it. Morris is good. That is an even matchup as far as I'm concerned. I would be surprised. They got a corral Garor, but it wouldn't be surprised if we see the same kind of result there next week. Maybe a little bit more scoring.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one in the trenches, like it's featured though, with that defense and what they did with. And he was not kidding. Those are some big backs over there at Bonita Vista.
Yeah,
real big, beefy guys.
They had that 2-back set. They had, the 2 backs there a lot of times, and they look
like they played at a JC.
They look like the biggest guys on the field there a little bit too. But the Sultans were. That's what Coach was saying, right? The game tackling of the Sultans there is what it felt like, right? As far as stopping them when they need. Look, they didn't. They didn't really get but the one touchdown there in the game. So it was Angel Cortez. He was the one guy. He had a 5-yard touchdown run, and that put Bonita Vista up 7-3 at intermission. Then they added a 38-yard field goal to make it 10-3, and it was that way all the way, Dave, until the Sultans got that late touchdown. Again, it was a well-executed drive that you wonder, the Sultans kind of just wore them down, I guess, right? Because they drove kind of down on them. Like I said, the penalty was severe as well. It was definitely a late hit. And Dave, just like the NFL, right? What are you doing? I'm talking on, behalf of Bonita Vista, but what are you doing? In the minute, couple minutes left in the game, and you smack the quarterback, and Miller was knocked to the tree. He hit his head. He bounced a little bit, but it was a big play because it took the ball down to the 38-yard line at that point, and then they ran it twice with Coco Thornton. He had like a 12-yard run and then a little like 7 or 8-yard run. Then they ran it down to about the 5-yard line, and that's when they got that touchdown pass. And then you described it perfectly, man. And they weren't going to kick that ball, Dave. And Coco lined up to put the ball down, but he quickly was up to one knee, rolled to his right. There was his man in the back of the end zone. He just put a beautiful touch on it. Maybe not enough speed on it. It was falling, but a great catch. He dove for it. It looked like a clear catch there. It looked like one of those, could have been like a review if it was on NFL TV, but it felt like he got the arms underneath clearly for the 2-point conversion. And then, as you mentioned, Dave, the interception there at the end of the game by our man Denton Gore to seal it.
Yep. And they had, like I said, they only dropped to one. Miller only had to take one snap. And that was the thing. That's what I was going to joke Coach about it, because there was the fans were saying, hey, let's get a time clock for Coach just to watch the time clock for the team.
Oh, okay.
I heard it clear. I heard it clear as day. It was you could tell they're getting a little restless, and I can understand a defensive game like that, going back and forth and penalties and miscues, and you're like, you kind of saw them at the end. I don't want to say, Coco, you weren't dragging it, buddy, but yourself. But I mean, it looked like we were not looking at the clock. I could see what they were saying, as they weren't getting up to the ball quickly, and the time was ticking.
Yeah.
But they were that sure that they were going to get it done.
There was one play in there where I believe a Baron got hurt, and it caused a little bit of a delay. And I think the Sultans were able to gather themselves a little bit. And then there was another injury right before the last, I think it was on the last drive there. But it was a great read there by Gore. They threw kind of a high pass to the right at the 40-yard line. He jumped up there and intercepted it for the win. All right. We got a couple more here, Dave. We'll just touch on the best ones that we have here right now that we know about. Let me go to this one here. You were watching the first half of this one before you had to shift over to that Santana game because it was getting good. And Dave Grossman was kind of running out of juice here as their remarkable season came to an end on Friday night. Man, how about St. Augustine superstar Pacios Polamalu, Dave, as the Saints won 45-20. The Hillers came in here riding high off that league championship, but they had their winning streak snapped as Polamalu, the son of the NFL Hall of Famer, basically took over the game on both sides of the ball. Grossman struck first behind Corbin Dow as he got a 4-yard touchdown run 6 minutes into the game, and they were up 6-0. The Saints cut the lead to 6-3, but Dow got another touchdown run, Dave, and it was 12-3 Grossmont early. But the Saints began to settle in, and Polamalu had a 22-yard run that made it 12-10. And then he took that, you said he took a direct snap and ran it in to make it 17-12. And the Saints led from there. I'll tell you about some more scores, but tell me about Polamalu.
Yeah, like I said, he was just electric off the line, and he took actually a few direct snaps. And it was usually when they got into the red zone, he was going to take, I would say, around the 10 to 15. And then especially on the 5 or 6 yard line, it's going to directly go to, you almost know 100% it's going to go to Polamalu. And he's so much bigger than a lot of those defenders as well.
Yeah, he looks like a big time talent already. I mean, he's already had a great season, but man, he's only going to get bigger, stronger, and I don't know. He's got that NFL dad pedigree, so I'm sure he'll probably be a great college player too. And he was kind of the difference. Dave Grossmont battled back early. Polamalu actually scored another touchdown, made it 24-12 after a long pass play by the Saints. But Tyler Holmes connected with Randy Ballard. We talked about the running game, but this one, Dave, they needed to get it on with the pass, and Tyler hit Ballard on a 60-yard touchdown, and then he ran in the conversion himself to make it 24-20. But then Polamalu had another short touchdown run to make it 31-10, and then they had a 70-yard touchdown pass to make it 38-20. And guess what, Dave? Polamalu had a 80-yard touchdown run to make it 45-20. So pretty good. It's a pretty awesome season for Grossmont. But this one was played at Mater Dei Catholic. Like I said, I thought it might help them that it wasn't at Mesa College, but Saints maybe just a little bit too strong and a little bit too much head and shoulders.
Yeah, and let's not take anything away from Vince Smith, also behind the center for Saints. He was definitely, because you never know. It goes to Polamalu so often that you're expecting that 9 out of 10 times, so that frees up Vince Smith, who is actually a pretty prolific passer, and especially on the play action stuff.
Yeah, great job there for the Saints. But a great run by the Foothillers, putting together that long winning streak, Dave, throughout the year. They went all the way through the Grossmont Valley League undefeated and had that long winning streak snap tonight, and they're out of the playoffs. But I think a season for all the Foothillers student athletes to remember this great championship and run for Grossmont there, and it was 45-20 in favor of Saints tonight. And they'll advance in the postseason here, Dave, in Division 2. Right, the Saints will move on to take on first seed Santa Fe Christian. Also, we do know. Let me get this one here, Dave. As let me get the score right here, Dave. We do have a final here, and I haven't put it in yet. The Helix Highlanders won tonight. They'll advance, and guess what? We've got some East County playoff battle coming up when Helix will take on Steel Canyon in the next round. Helix won tonight at home. It wasn't easy, but they dispatched San Pasqual. I say it wasn't easy. It was 49-27. Helix got the win at home over San Pasqual here tonight with a real stellar performance, Dave, by the Highlanders here. For the first time, Helix comes in here, Dave, and we're able to advance. They wasted no time in setting the tone early in this one. They were able to strike with the first play from scrimmage. After taking the opening kickoff, Dante Wright broke free for a huge gain down to the 25-yard line. Moments later, Jordan Lindley barred in from 3 yards out, and Helix was up 7-0 just 32 seconds into the game. The Highlander defense followed. After the Golden Eagles picked up a couple of first downs, Jace Sells stepped in front of a pass near midfield for an interception, returning it to the Helix 47. That set up another methodical drive behind Lee, Norman Lester, Wright, and Lindley. They capped a possession with a 2-yard touchdown run, with Wright scoring at the 5:51 mark of the first quarter. Was 14-0. San Pasqual tried to settle in, but the Highlanders dominated up front. They got a big sack, a team sack. The Golden Eagles did catch a break midway through the second quarter. They recovered a fumble, returned it to the touchdown to make it 21-7. Then they went for an onside kick. San Pasqual recovered, and then Robert Renteria found Marcus Roca for a short touchdown pass with 4:06 before halftime. It was 21-13. So you see what I'm saying here? It wasn't a blowout that the score says there, but Helix answered like a seasoned player. They almost answered like the Helix Highlanders, Dave, in the second half. Norman Lester engineered a rapid drive, including a long run that set up Wright's third touchdown of the night, a 5-yard scamper that pushed the lead back to 28-13 just before halftime. In the third quarter, the Highlanders defense delivered again. They stopped the Golden Eagles on downs deep in their own territory. Then Norman Lester finished off a short field with a 3-yard touchdown run to extend the advantage to 35-13. San Pasqual came back, a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown, made it 35-20 late in the third, but Helix regained control as Bryson Callaway sprinted 27 yards for a score on the first play of the fourth quarter. Then Norman Lester added another rushing touchdown midway through the final period to make it 49-20. San Pasqual tacked on a late touchdown pass. So big night for the Highlanders, Dave. One of their best offensive, maybe I think it was there. If they might have put pushing several hundred yards, Dave, in the game tonight offensively. I picked San Pasqual because I thought that passing game was going to be pretty tough, but in the end, it was Helix's strength and size of the bigger school, the bigger players that really dominated.
Yeah, I think we both picked the Golden Eagles too.
Yeah, so Helix advances to play Steel Canyon, Dave. We got two of our teams going to do battle.
Yeah, I think this is a good matchup, and I think it could go either way, really.
Yeah, that will be at Steel Canyon, however. I think that
favors the Cougars.
Yeah, I think so. Even though Helix won the game on their field, right? But I think turning it around here feels like they're so evenly matched right now, and the Cougars will have that week, the bye week here. Oh, that one's going to be, I don't know, Dave. I think it's going to be a great game. Wow, we got an instant classic. It feels like next game.
Man.
All right. Oh, go. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll continue on here with what we know tonight, and then we'll get on out of here. But man, it was great to catch up with the Sultans. So let me see here. Oh man, Dave, Eastlake tonight over West Hills, 35-0. Yeah, it just it was from the outset really. West Hills was never going to able to get things going. The late season surge came to an end. Falling 35-0 to the Eastlake Titans. The Titans struck early, scoring touchdowns in each of the first two quarters to build a 14-0 lead. Midway through the second, Eastlake's second score came on a 30-yard quarterback scramble with 9:50 to go in the first half. And West Hills battled back from that 0-5 start, Dave, to reach the postseason, but couldn't really get it going against this Eastlake deep. Like we said, it'd probably be a battle of defenses, but Eastlake just had a little bit too much strength on offense. By halftime, they had led 28-0 and added one more score in the fourth quarter to make it 35-0. But great run by West Hills there to recover from that 0-5 start, put themselves in a position to compete for the league title.
You know, and Coach Ash said they were going to be, when talking about Steel Lake, was saying they were going to have to play fast because they're such a physical team also. And that they were going to have to do similar to what the Sultans did, gang tackle and get these guys down.
Yeah, for sure. So great job, Wolfpack. Sorry it didn't end the way we would have liked, or at least been competitive in that game. But they really could be proud of that streak there, winning those 4 games in league play, and putting themselves in position in that game against Grossmont. There, and just maybe a little bit of a Santee City Cup trophy too. That always makes for a nice season, Dave.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and it was all about, and that offense was pretty much about how comfortable he would be. Their quarterback would be having those rushers coming off of the edge and getting rid of the ball. So,
yeah, it just didn't quite work out. All right, Dave, one more. I wish I had more details on this one. Fallbrook defeated Valhalla tonight, 35-28. Valhalla with a fierce comeback at the end of the game, Dave. Fallbrook was 7-7 early in the first half. Fallbrook finished the first quarter with an interception by Carter Sanchez, but right before the half, Fallbrook's Harrison Jones connected with Sanchez for a 63-yard touchdown right when the woo, woo, woo was going off. And it was 21-7 at halftime. Eventually, Fallbrook led 28-7 before Valhalla put together a big-time comeback, but it wasn't enough as Fallbrook won this one 35-28. We'll have to clean this one up on the website. We don't have much information about this game. No cameras. No. I think the PPR was there, so check it out, everybody. They'll have the highlights for us for sure and tell us what went down in that one. And then let's see. I got one other one here tonight, Dave, and it's good news. It was good news. The Christian Patriots were able to get the win tonight over Brawley, and it was Christian taking it down here, Dave. Let me see here. You had the score, I think. I don't know if I had it. It was 39. Go ahead, Dave. 39-16, I think.
No, I will get that for you. It was 37-16 was the final.
Thank you. Okay, let me put that one in. So Christian moves to 4-7 with the 39-16 win here over Brawley tonight. They looked evenly matched on paper, Dave, but it was Christian, no doubt, who was kind of dominating in there. Caught some of the game for sure. Didn't quite. By the time I got over there, it was 20. And by the time I got over there to watch some of the game, it was 20-0 late in the first half. Christian led 23-13 at the end of the third quarter. Julian Morones, the freshman, had a big night. He had a 1-yard touchdown run for CHS. That made it 29-13, then 30-13 basically after the point after. But they had a big play by Kai Rozier, who took a pass from Caleb Runkle, and he ran it down there all the way to the 2-yard line from about midfield. Probably added a field goal in the fourth quarter, make it 30-16. But Morones, a freshman, controlled the game in the second half, and he had some good yardage totals from what I could see. Didn't see the whole game, but man, he had to have at least 100, maybe 100 yards from when I was watching in the game. Kai Rozier scored on a short slant from the 5 with 2:40 left. That kind of put the final margin in there, Dave. And now for the Christian Patriots, of course, they will advance in the Division III playoffs, where they will take on the Ramona Bulldogs in Ramona, Dave. Ramona, I don't know if they typical Ramona team. I don't know if they're as strong as they've been in some years. And the Patriots will go up to 67 to take on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, well, we've seen our Steel Canyon team play them before. West Hills has played them a handful of times as well. But I mean, none of us expected Christian to go off like that. And sources also saying, it's Runkle time again in Christian Patriot land.
That's right. We're in the Division III playoffs, Dave. I think that the Patriots can do something here. It's going to be a great game against Ramona. Well, I'll have to look into it, but they're going on the road. And like I said, Ramona, we know they've had good – we know they have also one of the best home field advantages in the county for sure at their field. But, hey, Christian here be number 6 seed against number 3 seed doesn't seem too far-fetched that it can't be a great game. There's Vince, Dave.
Hey!
There's Vince. He says what you say, Dave. Why are the losing records in the playoffs, Dave? But
because it's East County.
Hey, Vince, they just take the top 64 teams. That's all they do. Only 13 teams miss the playoffs. So what are you going to do? You're always going to have some losing records. They just take the top 64 teams and divide them up into 6 divisions. You've got one 14 playoff division, the 4 elite teams of the county. By the way, Dave, in those elite, we want to keep an eye on the elite teams are off, of course, this week, but I want to tell you about Division 1, where Point Loma beat Mater Dei Catholic 41-7. Poway beat Torrey Pines on the road 27-24. Rancho Bernardo smoked smoked Del Norte tonight as well in the big games. Also, one local team of note, Olympian, apparently rallied. Man, I'm gonna have to confirm this score because I thought that the Patriots were ahead, but I'm showing here that Patrick Henry Olympian comes back to win it, 25-24 tonight. Henry was winning that game for sure. I'm pretty sure, and I'm just catching a glimpse. You getting my reaction on that one? 25-24. Also, some other scores tonight. Scripps Ranch beat La Jolla, and Mira Mesa beat Rancho Buena Vista. So we know all of our teams, Dave, and we know all of the teams that are moving on there. Should mention, though, like I said, Helix will be taking on Steel Canyon next week. So great job, Dave. Wish we had more winners and more teams. There is one game tomorrow as well. On Saturday, it'll be Victory Christian taking on Mountain Empire at 1 p.m. So we'll do that one on the website, Dave. But that's it. We had our winners tonight: Helix, Christian, and Santana.
And as always, like to thank our great sponsors, the Granite Mortgage, Lakeside Equipment, and Touchdown Plumbing. Also want to thank our photographer. I don't mention it enough. Vic Morano, going out to all the East County games for us, being really our do-it-all photographer, all things prep, sports, pretty much in the East County. Does a terrific job. I know he was at the Helix game tonight, so we will be seeing quite a few that we will be posting on the website of Your Helix Highlanders.
Yeah, we'll see him in action here next week. And pardon me, Dave, when we get the preview show going, we'll also have next week, of course, our Division I teams in play with Mount Miguel. We can't tell you, right? Let me clean that up, Dave. It'll be Oceanside coming in. They beat Holtville tonight. They will advance to play Mount Miguel next Friday, and Rancho Bernardo with that win over Del Norte. They will be taking on the Granite Hills Eagles next week, Dave. So also Helix and Steel Canyon in Division II for us. We already mentioned Santana in Division 4, Christian and Ramona in Division 3, and also don't forget El Capitan. They will take on La Jolla Country Day. La Jolla Country Day beat Coronado 35. As I told you, Dave, I thought that Country Day would be a better team, and even though they were seated higher, and they beat Coronado 35-14. So they'll come to Lakeside. They'll travel the 52 to the 67 there to get to El Capitan for that game next week. And also with Fallbrook's win over Monta Vista, Dave, they will be the team to come in and take on Monta Vista next Friday night.
And we all know what happened in Fallbrook last year. Pretty much that same team for the most part taking them on, but this time we're taking on our field in Spring Valley. Look for that one to actually I look for that one to be a barn burner for sure.
Oh yeah, that should be. We'll get some good games next week too, and hopefully we get some more action for everyone. And,
my Eagles too. We're gonna. Yeah, I think they're gonna. Zach Benitez and his full arsenal of receivers and backs. I mean, and that defense that thing's going to be close to the game of the week, along with Mount Miguel.
Yep, I think we got enough material for another week of shows for sure.
Oh yeah,
with these matchups. All right, brother. Great job. Thank you, everybody, for watching here on the Prep Football Postgame East County style here for the first round of the playoffs quarterfinals next week. We got plenty of teams still left, so come on back and we'll preview the games here next week, and then we'll also have the post game next Friday. Like I said, be ready, all those road teams next week, Dave.
You could be going to the bus.
All right, that's going to do it. And thank you, Dave. Great job. And we'll catch you next week with more East County Prep Football Report.